Welcome back, friends, to what I hope will be another informative video. Here we have Emil. Emil works for Bethesda, and he decided to go on a 15-post diatribe, responding to the criticism regarding Starfield. His first post states, "Funny how disconnected some players are from the realities of game development, and yet they speak with complete authority. I mean, I can guess what it takes to make a Hostess Twinkie, but I don't work in the factory. So what the heck do I really know? Not a lot." Did you see how he attempts to disguise his antagonism with a pseudo-humble analogy? In case you can't read between the lines, what he's saying is, you know nothing about game development, so shut your mouth. In a nutshell, that's pretty much post number 1. Let's move on to post number 2. Part of me really gets it. When you're a consumer... let me stop you right there, Emil. We're not consumers. We're customers. I understand that a lot of people working within the entertainment industry have forgotten that fact, and it bears repeating that our relationship is strictly transactional and highly conditional. Let's just move on to post number 3. I didn't complain about games on social for 2 main reasons. 1, I know how hard it is to make these games, and have too much respect for my fellow devs. 2, I work for a game studio, and it would be uncool and unprofessional for me to do so. But sometimes I want to, oh boy. Alright, so for your number 1, there's a difference between complaining like a baby and expressing legitimate concerns. In fact, maybe Emil needs to be reminded that he should be able to discern between irrational complaints and constructive criticism. For the next 3 posts, I'll just leave it on the screen for a bit, and you can pause the video to read all 3 posts if you like. And in the interest of saving time, these posts are basically about stress. And we get it, Emil. You're stressed out. Your job can be stressful. But do you realize, Emil, that in the real world, everyone has stress in their workplace, to some degree or another? Your stress doesn't make you any more important than a plumber, a nurse, a janitor, or an accountant. We all have stress. Alright, so post number 7 and 8 I'll read right in a row and then respond. This isn't me complaining about my job. Well, it kind of is, Emil. It kind of is. I've experienced all these things and will again. It's the nature of AAA game development, but I also have a great position, and I am still gainfully employed after 21 plus years. A blessing considering the thousands of layoffs this year. Number 8, I'm not trying to change anyone's mind, but yeah, you are. Because of the internet. But given my position, I can't not share the truth. And that truth is, nobody sets out to make a bad game. That's debatable. And most game devs are incredibly talented, even if the game they release isn't up to par. Alright. Okay. The game not being up to par, or not being up to the customer's standards, isn't our problem, Emil. That's your problem. It's your problem because we are the ones giving you money for the product. Additionally, I find it odd that you are attempting to kind of reverse the roles here. You seem to be under the false assumption that we, the gaming public, are somehow beholden to you in some way. I'm getting the impression that you believe you are owed our allegiance or something, and nothing can be further from the truth. Post number 9. See, I never knew this before, but if nothing else, video game development is a series of concessions and tough decisions. There's that perfect game you want to make, and then there's the game you can make. Sometimes, if the gods smile on you, those two are very close. Alright, so it sounds an awful lot like your ambitions don't match the technical capabilities at your disposal. So I have a novel idea for you. How about you shelf those ideas and do something you can do? How about you guys don't oversell the idea of a game if you can't deliver on that concept? Weird, I'm getting Peter Molyneux flashbacks here. Anyone else? Alright. Number 10 and 11. But in order to get there, in order to get it as close as possible to the vision, the team has to push itself harder and harder, often while dealing with the devs being shuffled around or leaving. looming deadlines, and creative decisions you wish you didn't have to make. Post 11, and team is absolutely the operative word here. Lots and lots of folks doing lots and lots of work. Writing, level building, making character models, coding game systems, trying to schedule it all so it can get done and folks don't burn out, and on and on. Okay, again, welcome to the working world, Emil. It's called work for a reason, and you're not the only one that has deadlines or dealing with people being shuffled around for this task or that task. You're not the only one. Post number 12. So sure, you can dislike parts of a game, you can hate on a game entirely. Well, thank you for giving me that permission. But don't fool yourself into thinking you know why it is the way it is, unless it's somehow documented and verified, or how it got to be that way, good or bad. Oh, man. Okay, so this post number 12, is when Emil kind of flies off the rails, and the condescension becomes nauseating. When you say things like, don't fool yourself into thinking you know why it is the way it is, all you're doing is convincing the customer that you believe you are above them. And that attitude does not equal game sales. I have a few additional responses to post number 12, and here they are. Firstly, I would like to speculate, and it's just me taking a shot in the dark here, that because of the internet, we gamers are able to parse through a wealth of information regarding game development. So I would like to think that a larger percentage of gamers are more aware of how games are developed. Again, it is my understanding that modern gamers are not submitting their commentary on games from pure ignorance, due to the cornucopia of knowledge available these days. Secondly, customers can explicitly and articulately express why a certain game is not up to par or up to our standards. When we do that, you should consider this exchange as constructive criticism. Thirdly, let's just cut to the chase. Wokeness. We know exactly why one of the big reasons Starfield is suffering, and one of them is because the character models are hideous. Gamers have already clearly expressed to the gaming industry that removing basic beauty standards in gaming is not a positive selling point. Finally, the problem is you gave into Larry Finks's woke vision because you're a coward. You are all cowards. CDPR, Bethesda, Insomniac, especially these days, Volition, so on and so forth. You're all cowards. Until you advocate for the gamers that have clearly and concisely articulated their grievances, you will continue to see failure. Alright, let's continue with post number 13. Chances are, unless you've made a game yourself, oh, there's that condescension again, you don't know who made certain decisions, who did specific work, how many people were actually available to do that work, any time challenges faced, or how often you had to overcome technology itself. Alright, Emil, I can guarantee that if you had your wife on an operating table, you wouldn't care about who does what. All you would demand, I should say, is that your wife's life be saved. You're not going to be asking for specifics, you're going to be demanding an outcome. Similarly, we gamers just want an outcome, and that outcome would be a good game, a woke-free game. We don't care how, we don't care who's involved, but we do know what we want. Post number 14 and 15, which are the last two, I should say. So yes, love games, buy them, play them, and complain to your heart's content. I do plan on doing exactly that, Emil. It's sort of the nature of the development-player transactional relationship. Okay. 15. But just know that the game you're playing is in some ways a freaking miracle in and of itself. Normal people have come together to work for years for one goal, to bring you fun and happiness. So it helps to remember that. And then, well, that's all good and well, Emil. But you also need to remember that whenever your customers are coming to you with articulate grievances, you should be able to take those grievances for what they are. constructive criticism. And you need to take that constructive criticism and improve upon your product. That's if, and only if, you want money. I mean, if you want money, that's what you should do. Whatever happened to the customer is always right. Whatever happened to that? Because what's happening recently is that some of you developers are starting to think that you're right and we're wrong. Well, we're going to continue to show you how wrong you are by not giving you any money. So if that's how you want to do it, well, by all means, go tank your company. Become the next Volition. Go ahead. Well, folks, that's pretty much all I got for this video. If you liked what you heard, please like and subscribe. Do all the usual social stuff. Find me on Gab, because I refuse to go on Twitter. Hit me up. I'm a fun guy. I'll talk to you even if I disagree with you. I'll chit-chat with you. Till next time, everybody. Have fun.